And I'm someone who thought of quitting once. And I started from zero.
That's
So
wonderful.
I can go back to zero and come back if I want. If I don't want, I can quit and leave. But at some point, I asked myself, what do you want? Like, you can follow their footsteps, or you can just ask yourself, what do you want? And I asked myself, I should be able to do whatever I want. For that, I should be unpredictable. I was not sure if I can act. Even then, I was not sure. But I wanted to try my luck. I was not ready to accept my failure without trying. So I resigned my job. But my father was not very happy with that. We had this argument, and my father was like, "Okay, you do whatever you want." Instantly, I resigned and I came out of that. And
It takes courage to do that.
yes, but I had this mind voice telling me, maybe it's foolish, but still, I had this mind voice telling me, "Okay, go try."
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guest today is a huge Malayalam star, and of course today he's globally acknowledged and loved because his last film was a major hit. I'm talking about the person who's a superhero, and I think he's a superhero in his real life too. I'm talking about the very fabulous Tovino Thomas. Hello.
Hello,
I
hi.
could see you sniggering a little. I think you are kind of a superhero. We kind of did establish that while I was talking to you about your schedule.
Yeah, everyone has a superhero inside them.
See, I like the fact that you did not deny and say no.
No, I told you, no? If you are a superhero, I am a superhero. When the right time comes, the superhero
Comes
act
out.
will be done. Yeah.
When was the last time you truly felt the superhero come out of you?
Every day while I am at work.
You feel that? Yeah?
Yeah, right now I've been shooting for this movie called Tallumala. For that, first I had to lose some 10 kilos.
Yeah.
And once that portion was finished, then I had to put on 5 kilos. And the fight sequences are so tiring, and you know, the Malayalam industry, we work under a lot of constraints.
Correct.
So we have
tight
to
schedule
work,
that you have to follow.
tight schedule, and we have to work. We have to do the extra work to compensate the constraints.
Do you now think post Milan your entire status has obviously increased more, but do you think it has added to what you were trying to create, trying to connect and accept more fans and connect to more people? Do you think that has added to what you already were building for yourself?
Yes, from the time I came into the industry, I wanted. See, Malayalis are people who watch all language movies. We watch Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Hindi, English, or Spanish, Korean, or Japanese. Majority of Malayalis, it's intertwined with our life. Movies are intertwined with our lives. So, to impress them, we had to work harder. And from then on, I had this thought in my mind. If I can, sitting in Kerala, if I want to watch a Korean movie, I find out where it is available and I watch it. Similarly, different language movies, I try and watch it. So why don't they watch our movies? This thought I had since a very long time. And 5 years back in an interview, I told the only thing I want is an international exposure. And
you had to put that in the universe.
and I want people from other states and other countries and other continents to watch our content, and cinema is basically visual language, so they'll be able to connect to it. And it actually happened. It was a dream for me, and a lot of things made that possible. Even the lockdown and the growth in OTT culture, everything helped for this, for whatever I have achieved. But now I understand that lot more people will watch my next movie. People who have already watched Minnal Murali will be like, okay, this is the movie from that actor who acted in Minnal Murali. Okay, let's try watching this. There is a possibility that lot more people who would have watched my movie before Minnal will be watching Naaradan. So I understand that my responsibility as an actor, when I'm being the face of a movie, it has increased. So hereafter, when I work, I'll definitely take all these into considerations. Now I have to impress a wider range of audience.
Yeah.
And also the targeted audience for Minnal Murali is not similar to targeted audience of Naaradan. They are two different kind of movies.
And you know, speaking of Naaradan, we were just discussing. It of course is a political thriller, and it deep dives into the lives of a journalist, which you are playing, right? I want to know what you think of today's journalism.
By the time I finished the shoot of this movie, my respect to the news presenters increased a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I was in that shoes, I could understand or relate to the pressure, the competition, and all the struggles news channels and the presenters and whoever is working in the news channels has to go through. But having that said, it cannot be a reason for like ignoring the facts and giving the news like when it was just one news channel or when it was one 15 minutes or 30 minutes news back in my childhood, we were trained to believe whatever we hear in the news. So when it was just 15 minutes or 30 minutes of news in my childhood, I was trained to believe blindly whatever we heard in the news channels. So that's how most of them are. We actually believe whatever we see in the news. But we shouldn't believe whatever we see in the movies. Movies is all about making a lie believable. That's entertainment industry. That's movies. But news channels cannot take that liberty. News channels have a much more responsible job than an entertainment industry. So I think like nowadays if I want to know the real fact about a news, I have to watch 5 news channels and then sit and analyze which one is right, which perspective is right. So news channels has got a bigger responsibility. It shouldn't be compromised just because of all these competitions, TRP and all. That's what I believe. And I'm not generalizing this. I'm not telling everyone is like that, but there are certain people who does that, and it can be dangerous. You cannot, I mean, news channels cannot take that liberty which we take in filmmaking.
But I also feel like through art you can make a huge impact.
Yes.
And I feel like your films also a lot of times have reflected that,
Yes.
right?
We have tried. Yes. Cinema is one of the very influential medium.
Yeah.
So even if you are not giving any messages, good messages, even if you are not giving any good messages, we try our best not to give any wrong messages. We shouldn't glorify anything like that. Instead, if it's just entertainment also, it's fine. It's not mandatory that every movie should give some positive message. It's not mandatory.
Sure.
It can be just entertainment. That's fine. But giving a wrong message cannot be appreciated.
Let the people who don't know about how your journey started. I know that it started with a little bit of modeling and the fact that you're an engineer. But I want to know how those days were and how it started for you and how it changed you as a person here today.
Like, I started in 2012.
Yeah.
So before that, I did my engineering and then I got placed in Cognizant. I was working in Coimbatore and then in Chennai.
Yeah.
And from my childhood, I wanted to be an actor. But the first time I told it to someone else other than me was after my college. I was not sure like how people will react. And whenever I told someone that I wanted to be an actor, they laughed at me.
They did?
Like, come on. Someone from a common, like upper middle class or middle class family. If I tell someone, and I don't have any like connection to, I didn't know anyone from the industry.
You're a total outsider.
Yes, and I didn't even know if I can act. I was not sure. I just wanted to be. I wanted to be part of the movies. I was fascinated by the magic of cinema. And after some point, after college, I told my girlfriend, who is my wife now.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, if that's what you think you want to, if you think that's your passion, just follow that. That's what she said. And my brother, my cousins, all of them supported. After my college, when I told this to them, they supported. my father was not very happy. He was concerned about my future and all, because I was not someone who had excelled in something like art or acting or anything in school or college. But I had this keen desire. And but by the time I prepared my portfolio pictures, and I did short films so that I can go and market myself. I never begged for characters. I never begged for roles. Instead, I tried marketing myself. By the time I started doing that, I got placed in Cognizant, and my father told me, you don't have any other option. You must go for the job. It's not everyone who gets a job. Then I said, okay. I went there, but I was not happy. I instantly knew that I was not made for that job. And I was not sure if I can act. Even then I was not sure, but I wanted to try my luck. I was not ready to accept my failure without trying. So I resigned my job. But my father was not very happy with that. We had this argument, and my father was like, okay, you do whatever you want. Instantly I resigned and I came out of that. And
It takes courage to do that.
yes, but I had this mind voice telling me, maybe it's foolish, but still I had this mind voice telling me, okay, go try. And from then I've been trying, and it took some time. After I submitted resignation also, it took some time. And on Jan 28, 2012, morning 9:15, that's the first time I stood in front of the movie camera. There was a movie named Prabhu and Makal. And after that, I worked as an assistant director in another movie in which Dulquer Salman acted. It was Tivram. Then from there, I went on giving screen tests and auditions, and I got this villain character in Dulquer Salman's next movie, ABCD. Yes, and after ABCD, I became this actor whom people can identify by the looks, but still they didn't know my name.
Really?
It took another 2-3 years. In 2015, when Ennu Ninte Moideen, that's a movie in which I played a supporting character, I won Filmfare Award for that.
Correct.
So after that movie, I became an actor whom people can recognize with the looks. Also, if my name was also registered. So it was not a quick thing. It took its time. I did supporting characters, I did small roles, I did villain roles, I did comedian roles. And then finally this Ennu Ninte Moideen happened. And from then on, I started getting, after that movie's success, even my character was appreciated along with Rajutan's and Parvati's character. And after that, I started getting a lot of lead characters, offers. And from then on, I've been trying to be choosy from whatever offers I was getting. And I did Guppy, Godha. Godha is the previous association of mine with Basil Joseph, who did Minnal Murali. And at some point...
And then Mayanadi, of course, was huge.
Course, with Ashik.
You won the awards everywhere.
And at some point during Mayanadi, I remember Shyam Pushkaran, the writer of Mayanadi, he was like, Tovino, the best thing about you is your unpredictability. You have done all kind of characters, so people doesn't know, right? But people doesn't know what you are going to do next. That's what he said. And even I thought it was right. But at some point, you become bankable and you become successful, and then you will be forced to maintain that success. While trying to maintain that success, will start becoming repetitive. That's a trap. Success is the biggest trap. So at some point, I was confused. I was thinking, should I continue this or should I quit? I had that kind of a zone at some point. Then I took a break. So I had a daughter then. Now I have a son too. So it was in 2019 I decided to take a break, and me, my wife and my kid, we traveled for a very long time.
Correct.
10 days in Dubai, 7 days in Cambodia, 1 week in Turkey, then we went to China. So by the time we came back, two things happened. My head was clear. I knew what should I do. I should continue because of a lot of things. And the second thing happened was my wife was pregnant after this. So From then on, I think I tried and invested more time before committing a movie. I took time to analyze the script and to analyze the director or the team. Also, I asked myself, what do you want? Like, I don't want. I used to be someone who follows the footsteps of my successful seniors. But at some
Who were they?
point,
Who were they particularly?
all of them.
All of them.
All of them. Like our role models, Mamuka, Lalitan, Raju, lot of them,
Correct.
all the seniors. But at some point I asked myself, what do you want? Like, you can follow their footsteps, or you can just ask yourself, what do you want? And I asked myself, I should be able to do whatever I want. For that, I should be unpredictable. That what Shametan had told earlier, I decided to work on it. From then on, I did Kala, Kane Kane, Minnal Murali, and now Naaradan.
Naaradan.
So all these movies are extremely different in all ways, and my characters were also direct opposite to each other.
Correct.
All these 4 movies, nothing similar, no similarity between all these characters. So now I think I've gained that back, the unpredictability. I think, and I'm very content. I'm living my dream, and I'm very peaceful, and I'm not very ambitious. I have small ambitions, and I'm very content right now. And Minnal Murali, I wanted Minnal Murali to be noticed, to be like celebrated by a lot of people, and it happened.
Yeah.
It went beyond my expectations, and I'm happy about that. But still, I'm not taking much pressure from that success. I don't take pressure from success or failure nowadays.
You don't take your stardom too seriously.
I don't own that stardom. I just want to be a good actor.
That's it, right? Then what scares you, if I can ask you? You very interestingly said that I'm content, and it's great. It takes a lot of security for an actor to be in a place and know exactly what he wants, and you know that. But what scares you? What sort of...
Being predictable again.
To being predictable again?
Maybe this is a cycle. I'll have to take a break again. But I'll try my best to prevent that. I'll not let myself becoming stereotyped again.
But I'm sure that also had like a lot of wrong advices that you thankfully didn't take help to be there, right? What were the advices that are usually given to actors and which you didn't take and, you know, which worked for you fabulously?
And I'm someone who thought of quitting once. So, and I started from zero.
That's wonderful.
So I can go back to zero and come back if I want. If I don't want, I can quit and leave.
I'll end it by asking you, every actor says that, oh, you know, I have taken something from this character and I have learned this. What have you learned from your character in Naaradan?
From every character I learn something. Because at times I think when I act in a movie, I'll be trying to think as that character, from that character's perspective. Then at times I see things or I understand things which Tovino Thomas, the person, wouldn't have understood. We'll be in that situation, like we'll be trying to relate to the character, we'll be trying to do whatever the character justifies. Suddenly things strike like this, which Tovino Thomas wouldn't have never understood. The character will understand.
Absolutely.
So from every movie I'm learning something, I'm evolving as a better actor and a human being.
Thank you once again, Tovino.
Pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Lovely chatting with you. We'll have a long one maybe for the success of the film.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Or maybe I'll come with my next movie.
Please do. Thank you.
Thank you so much.